Yo, yo, Big Baby JTV, man. And day 2 of the high drama Joe Budden podcast divorce, the end of the road. That's my last video. Y'all peep that video, man. Link in the description, man. So, over time, I'm not saying I changed my mind about this, but over time, you reevaluate things and you think about things twice, 3, maybe 4, sometimes 5 times. Now, look, I'm still sticking with my main premise that Joe Budden destroys more than he builds. He destroyed his relationship with Def Jam, Shady Records, Slaughterhouse, Spotify, Complex, and now, in basically less words, he destroyed his relationship with Rory and Mal and the original version of the Joe Budden podcast. Now look, I'm a believer from chaos comes order. All right? I believe in that. Shout out Jordan Peterson. And I just watched an interesting video from a channel called Lotus Flower Queen. Y'all give her a follow, where she broke down how Mal is the main reason all of this happened. All of Joe's rant. Essentially, he said that Joe Budden's homeboy Mal sided with Rory, making Rory and Mal tag team against Joe to destroy Joe Budden's podcast, right? And how Joe Budden was being too kind by having his homeboys, specifically Mal, come in and work for him, but let a lot of things slide, like them coming late, specifically Mal coming late to the show, and them wanting more power and partnership. Specifically, Rory wanting more power and partnership. Now, look, what I'm going to say about this is this. Joe Budden, since he owns the show, it's called the Joe Budden Podcast. He has every right to do what he wants. He has the IP, which is intellectual property. He has the right to do what he wants. But there's a way to do things. And maybe because of Joe's personality, he's so transparent that he puts everything on Front Street. That is a major strong suit, but also a fatal flaw. Because from time, Joe Budden has been so transparent to a fault where he's been caught cheating. He's been caught messing up business deals. He's been caught contradicting himself. He's been caught backing up from his words. He's been caught being more entertaining and authentic in both ways, the good and the bad. Now, as a creative, I am surprised and shocked that Rory and Mal never created a YouTube page, never created their own podcast, never did anything outside of their own Joe Budden podcast. Why didn't branch out? It's not good. It's not a good look. I'll give you an example of somebody who did branch out and get a lot of success in the media game. Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee was under the Barstool Sports brand, and that's how we started. He got a podcast from Dave Part, whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying, the Barstool guy. And eventually, Pat McAfee's podcast got so popular that the man invested and spent money and got his own studio. And once he got his own studio and he got his own YouTube running, his own media platform running, his numbers rival ESPN. Pat McAfee has better interviews with athletes than ESPN. Pat McAfee has a stronger viewership than ESPN's YouTube. Okay? So at the end of the day, Mal and Rory could have done that. They could have done that. They had the choice to. If Joe is saying the truth. If Joe is lying, which I slightly doubt, then they couldn't have done that. And now, from the podcast before yesterday, basically, Joe Budden said if Rory and Mal decided to create a podcast, he would quote unquote sue the shit out of them. Now, we gonna see if they can fold or if they got some nuts on them. If you got some nuts on you and you're confident, you create the podcast anyways. You make a Patreon anyways. You align with Joe's enemies, quote unquote, and then you do it anyways. You go with a competitor and you create for your own anyways. Why? Because Joe Budden has been doing that from time. As much as Joe Budden destroys, he also creates a lot. So take a note from his book. Create something for yourselves. And this is a note to all creatives out there, man. Keep creating. Keep going. Keep pushing. And keep pushing for your own. I want this to be a learning lesson for all of us. Because at the end of the day, when you're relying on another man, okay, to give you a paycheck, okay, that man or woman can fire you at any time. At any time for any reason. And guess what? They have the right to. They have the right to. As dumb and farsighted as I see that it is for Joe Budden, I think that he has every right to do it. And I predict he's going to make more money. Why? Because he's paying two people. He has two less paychecks to worry about. And essentially two less liabilities to worry about. Is the dynamic and chemistry going to be the same with Ice and Ish or whoever he decides to replace Mal and Rory with? Absolutely not, because they are integral to his success. But does he have the right to do what he did? Yes, he does. Is it right? No, for me, it was wrong. But hey, who knows? I'm not behind the scenes making these contracts. I'm not Joe Budden. I'm not making business deals. I don't know what he's doing with Patreon. Did he make the right decision? In my opinion, hell no. But who am I? I'm just a creator on YouTube. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Big Baby JTV. I tried to make this short, but it is what it is, y'all. And I'm out.